Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chaz, and I'm here with Evan, and we're going to be going over risk management here at LA Fitness. Here at LA Fitness, and in particular our pool area, we have set up various ways of mitigating risk to reduce loss. Risk in an organization like ours include health, technology, safety, fire, environmental, financial, investment, and expansion. When applying these risk management concepts, consider both positive and negative aspects of these issues in our organization. It'll help get better quality data for decision making, and it will make escalations clearer and easier to manage. Here we have a list of risk management principles that everybody at LA Fitness should be adhering to. We want to ensure risks are identified early. We want to factor in organizational goals and objectives, manage the risk within context, if necessary, involve stakeholders, ensure responsibilities and roles of everyone on staff are clear, and we want to create a cycle of risk review. Everybody here should strive for continuous improvement in all these areas. The most important risk management principle is to ensure risks are identified early. We want to make sure we are ahead of the game. Risk assessment should therefore be conducted before any project is conducted. It provides help in interfere cause of the potential risk. It could help in designing preventive measures and response needed around our pool area. It could also help an organization to identify the source of the risk and measure the risk as well. We want to make sure that we're factoring in organizational goals and objectives to our risk management plans. We want to make sure the risk management plan ties with the overall goals and objectives here at LA Fitness. We want to identify how the risks will impact our organization, outline outcomes and priorities, and our risk strategy should be consistent with the overall goal and culture of our gym, our pool area, our entire infrastructure here at LA Fitness. We want to make sure we manage these risks within context. It's very important to consider the context. Organizations will have different tolerance levels to risks. Here at LA Fitness, our tolerance level is very high because we have a lot of potentially dangerous things going on here at the pool area, with our equipment, or with our basketball court. Several factors such as technological, financial, health and safety, etc. need to be considered. An organization might be vulnerable to environment and other financial, therefore, risks must be considered based on context. Involve stakeholders. Like I said, if necessary, involve stakeholders. It's important to call for experts in the relevant field for advice when planning for risk management. Throughout the process, it's important to involve stakeholders in our decision-making process and identify and gain insights into potential risks you may not have considered. We want to make sure everybody's role and responsibilities are clear here at LA Fitness. The risk management plan may be owned by one individual, such as the project manager. It should be operated with transparency and visibility. Every person here at LA Fitness should know the role they play in mitigating risks, and responsibilities should be clear. There should be inclusive throughout the risk management process.
To fully mitigate risk here at LA Fitness and our pools, it is important to know and understand the following bullet points. There are firms such as law firms that will come after pool owners and pool facilities for any of the following reasons. Miller and Zoyce describe pool dangers as a lack of proper safety equipment, failure to supervise, failure to warn, lack of fencing, failure to maintain, or defective equipment. These local law firms can also see causes of action for swimming pool injuries as premises liability, product liability, and negligence. While it's important to know what the law firms will come after you for, it's also important to know how you can get covered. Insurance companies such as Allstate provide insurance that gives you not only coverage on any liability or injuries that may occur inside your pool or natatorium, but also gives you coverage on physical damages that may occur through whatever reason, if it's a storm or whatever it may be, that physical damage occurs to your pool. Knowing the firms is important, but knowing what lawsuits you might have while owning a pool are also important. There are many different lawsuits you can get. Of course, you can get one for negligence or an injury that occurs at your pool. You can also get a lawsuit at you of a breach of contract, whether that be on what day it was supposed to be done or how it was supposed to be done. And you can also get a lawsuit at you in the form of a sexual or racial discrimination accusation, and we will go over those here shortly. It's also important to know and realize what permits you need to operate and function a pool or your natatorium. It is important to know which local or federal permits to have. For example, Forsyth County inspects over 18,000 pools a year, making sure that they have the required permits to function and be a pool, per se. These permits are required, so again, it is very essential to know what permits you need based on local, state, federal law. It is also important to understand the safety guidelines for your pool and pools all together. There are multiple safety and environmental guidelines on the CDC website, cdc.gov. It is also important to look at your Department of Health. You could look at that, departmentofhealth.georgia, and they will tell you all guidelines or health issues that may be occurring in pools nationwide, locally, whatever it may be. They will give you all the information to properly ensure that you have a health and safety environment while conducting pool operations. If you are a resident of Florida, the Swimming Pool Safety Act is in place. It is important to adhere to the Residential Swimming Pool Safety Act, and failure to do this may not cause a potential tragedy, but also residential property and owners can get affected if there is a personal injury or wrongful death lawsuit that occurs through that. So it is important, again, to know all state, local, and federal guidelines while owning and operating a pool. The CDC listed 3,356 cases of unintentional drownings from 2005 to 2014. Makes that about 10 a year. They say to own a pool is more dangerous than to own a gun when talking about the deaths occurring to children under 14 years old. To fully understand here at LA Fitness how to manage risk, it is important to understand local cases that have happened involving pools. For example, Frazier versus Goodley Park Homeowners Association was a case where a 4-year-old died drowning in a swimming pool here in Savannah, Georgia. The family sued. However, the homeowners association was found not guilty because they were found to have the proper signage and postage for the depths and what times you should or should not be swimming, depending on what age you are. Smith vs. Hilltop Pools and Spas was a case where a contract breach happened. Smith claimed that there was a fraud and a breach of contract. However, the court found that there was not enough evidence to support this claim and that Smith had reached a statute of limitations on this claim. Tallman Pools of Georgia versus Fellner was a case of another breach of contract where Fellner said that there was a breach of contract. Tallman said that there was a clear weather permits clause that stated that they could go longer if the weather was not permitting. However, it was found the weather was fine and that Tallman Pools did not finish the pool in time. The last case is a sexual discrimination case in New Jersey. It involves an elderly neighborhood where pool hours were segregated and men could only swim at the pool at night. This case was found not in favor of sexual discrimination because it was clear in the contract they signed that pool hours were how they were.